Hey guys, it's Josh from Three Pillars Capital. It's early Saturday morning. We're about to head out on a property tour. We're going to meet with our potential partners on the deal, as well as some of our existing partners that have already partnered up with us. Today we're going to start from the outside, work our way in. It's more of a due diligence tour. We have another rehab estimator coming out to give us some quotes. Just take a thorough tour inside and out. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. It's at the bottom of this page. Other than that, I hope you enjoy. A lot of you have flown from far places across the country, so I thank you for taking time out of your schedules to do that. Today is a hands-on way to learn about what it takes to do a due diligence of a multifamily property. Some of you may be familiar with this already. Some of you, this may be your first time. But the one thing that you guys are all doing today that most investors won't do is taking action. So I want to encourage you to continue taking action as you go through this tour today. To talk about, I guess, is the exterior. So we're standing in what is going to be, this area is going to be a, basically this is all going to come out. We're going to do like a fountain with like pebble or rocks or something, basically to clean us up. This is the area that we want people, when they come here, they're going to appreciate and enjoy wanting to live here. So by making this area nice, maybe adding some benches, just kind of add some life to the exterior of this region. So while we're also here, let's take a look at around you. You can notice the brick, that is going to maintain that look. We're not going to paint the brick. It's going to maintain a natural look. We're going to wash it like do an acid wash, and that's going to kind of bring out the vibrance of the brick. We are going to redo the paint along the side. And we've already got quotes on that of what it's going to cost to get that all done. So we are definitely underway on that. Let's walk around to the front of the property. Let's go around this way. So here we are. So this is the driveway to the second building here. There's 4 spaces under the carport. This is for the tenants on the right-hand side. The whole property is these 2 buildings here. One of the ways, just to give you an idea of how we're going to add value to the property, is currently each one of those spaces is not being charged a parking space fee. That is something that is common in this area that you can't charge for. So that is one quick way that we could, once it's taken over, add value to the property immediately on the back side of these spaces. You can get additional revenue for that you're not currently getting revenue for. It's a very simple way that you can identify hidden value. But I want you to notice the building. Now it's not bad, it doesn't look terrible, but it could use a little bit more of a street curb appeal, right? There's nothing about it that pops out. So the idea that we're going to do here is replace that front along the brick with a white pebble, 4-foot tall, drought-resistant bushes with spotlights that are solar powered from the ground, so that when you drive by, it's going to give you that pop. It's going to give you, right? Because you want people, when you're trying to rent it out, and especially when you're going to sell it, you want it to instantly catch the eye. And those are some tricks that you can do that are very inexpensive, that'll add value and appeal. This is your basic 600 square foot layout.
What is this?
In this complex, I'm going to try to talk to all of you as best as I can. I'll repeat myself in case anybody didn't hear. Kind of the idea for these units. But these units are all very similar to this. One thing that you notice right away is the floor, not that great. Right? Is it livable? Sure, but is it something that is going to make you want to come on every day? Probably not. One thing that we're going to do is install, and I said this in the last video, laminate vinyl plank flooring. So it's a very cost-effective way to get a hardwood finished floor that's going to be the same all the way throughout, so you can save on cost by making the same material on all the floor. So the kitchen's going to be LVP. This is going to be LVP all the way through. Our cost price point right now is about $2 a square foot. We'll quote it for installation and labor. So for about $1,000 a unit, you can get really nice looking flooring that's going to make it feel very, very welcoming. So that's the flooring. As far as the paint's concerned,
but maybe one really great thing. I haven't met everybody yet.
Yeah, this is Juan by the way.
On the program with Marcus and Chap. doing that, you only do it once. With carpet, you're turning it, every time you turn a unit, you're replacing the carpet. It's a little bit, actually it's right around the same as carpet, but you pretty much do it once. If you have one that's damaged, you pull that one up and put another one down.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you want to eliminate as many turnover costs as you can, and by having flooring versus carpeting, you're doing just that.
Are you going to demo this or do a layover?
Layover. It's easier, it's much, and you know this, Chad, with all the flips you've done, it's much more cost effective. If you can get away with it, just to go right on top of it.
Yeah.
To rip all this up.
You never know what's going to be under either.
Do you have to put on a subfloor over this? Then?
A leveler.
Yeah, LVT is this kind of thing where, as long as this, the leveling thing takes care of all that. If it was if we're doing like wood laminate or something like that, you'd maybe have to do another little thin padding or something like that underlayment. But yeah, LVT is so durable. Wear and tear, dogs, people just tearing it up, sliding things across the floor does not tear it up like wood or like carpet. It won't crack like tile either.
One other thing I want to mention while we're in this room is we're going to add accent walls and the paint to every room. So an accent wall is another cost-effective way to make a room pop when you walk in. You've probably seen plenty of designs in HGTV or whatever, but it's basically you take contrasting colors. So this is kind of like a beige color, right? So one way we do that is that wall right there where you guys are standing, we'll do like a dark brown or oak color. So you come in, instantly it grabs the eye, it gives a center of focus, and it's just one thing that has been proven scientifically to make a room just pop and add more value. So that's one thing. So the kitchen, we want to make all the units granite on the countertop. It just has a better look. It's more durable. It just feels better. The human touch. A lot of the units have, this one is an example of one where we wouldn't have to replace the granite because it's already in decent condition. But there's other units where they're not as good, or maybe they did a hack job and it's just some other composite material. That way I have to go through and replace it. But getting them all granite is definitely value adder. The other thing is these cabinets have to be redone, a lot of them. They just look tacky, the hinges are falling off. Does not really cost that much to do things, but what you can with the cabinets. But what we could do is basically just paint them in with the color of the LVP that we're doing, which is a grayish color that we're looking at right now. Is the price that we have. We can contrast that with the cabinet colors. And what that's going to do is, again, it's all about making the visual appeal. So by keeping the cabinets, maybe fixing the hinges, but keeping the existing boxes, you can save the cost of the cabinets, you can change the paint color, and all of a sudden you've got a kitchen that almost looks brand new, and all you've done is change paint in hinges and hardware. Obviously, things like appliances, we might have to change out if they're not working. We have to do a full inspection of all of them, but again, appliances are not that expensive. For under $1,000, you can do all the appliances in the kitchen that you would need, even less than that. If the price points work, yeah, and that's a great question. So this is a C-class property. It's basically the demographic that you'll get in a property like this. There are certain things they will and they won't appreciate, and certain things that they will and won't pay more money for. Stainless steel is one of those things that's kind of on the hairy edge. If you put them in,
Do you expect it to stay on the C-class level or bring it up to a B?
we're trying to bring it up to a B- as our target. So leapfrog, but again, there's only you can only bring a property so far, right? You can add the value, but at some point if it's in the C range, you can take it maybe to the higher C, low B, but not much more than that. So with that in mind, weighing the costs and benefits of adding stainless steel and the amount of rent appreciation you're going to get, those are things to consider. There's some things that can easily have been done, or keeping rents adjusted as leases came due, that haven't been adjusted over the years. So that right there, repositioning these units and then bringing it up and boosting it the 20 or 30% to the market level, which is about, for a property like this, about $630 is market rent. I mean, you're talking an extra $150 for a unit like this and a bump once you reposition it. I mean, that's a very large increase. When it comes to a valued apartment, it's based on cash flow, not based on as much about comparables. So how much the property produces is directly correlated to how much value you can buy it or sell it for. So just to give you, so you have this number in your head, $1,000 of an increase on an annual basis is about a $17,000 increase in this market on the back end sales price. So if you add $1,000 of value to any property in this market, you're creating $17,000 of value on the back end. So 17 to 1, pretty good numbers in my opinion.